Hey everyone, it's me Jessica. Today we're going to talk about relationships. Relationships. Now, that's kind of a hard topic. If you're in a relationship, that's great. If you're not, that's also great. Because being single or being in a relationship, being engaged, being married, you're happy. Maybe you're not. But that's what you gotta figure out. Are you really happy in the situation you're in? Can you prevent the situation you're in? Those are the things I'm going to answer today. So, let's go by if you're happy in the relationship or the way you are. If you're single and you want to be with somebody, is there anyone you have your mind set on? Is there anyone that you want to date but they are dating somebody else? Or are they just wanting to be single? You have many options. If they're in a relationship with somebody else, you can try to take them away from that person, which in my opinion is and is not the best choice. It can be and it cannot be. And if they're not in a relationship and they don't want to be in one, don't pressure them to be. If they want to be single, let them be single. Wait your turn or choose another person. And can you prevent the situation you're in? If you're in a relationship or you're engaged or you're married, okay? So let's start with the first one. If you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you don't want to be in the relationship, then stop. Just break it off. If you're really not happy, then time isn't really going to fix anything. From my experience, I'm not saying it hasn't from yours. If you want to wait, then you can. But time passes, and that's when you guys just separate even more than you were before. So you might give it a few days, whatever. If it doesn't get better, and it stays the same, or especially if it gets worse, just break it off. There's no use to it. And then maybe you'll find yourself back together, and it'll be better than the last time. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll find somebody else. And if you're engaged, if somebody proposes to you or you propose to that person and there's an acceptance and you guys are engaged, but then one of you or both of you change your mind. If you change your mind when you're engaged, it's not too late to turn it down. You can be like, I've thought about it a little bit more and maybe it was crazy. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten engaged as soon as we did or when we did. And I think we need to hold the wedding off for a little bit. Or just call it off altogether. You can call the engagement off, you can call the wedding off. You can hold it back so you guys can get more prepared for it. There are many things you can do. Now, once you're married though, that's a little more complex. Especially if you have kids. If you're married and you don't love the person anymore, especially if you don't even like them anymore, then you need a divorce. It's not the best thing, but it is one of the things that you must go through. Don't torture yourself or the other person. If you're truly not happy, and especially if they're truly not happy and you guys are just doing it because you don't want to file a divorce or whatever, or if you have children or whatever, think about you, okay? I know they always say, think about the kids. But how are you supposed to think about your kids when you're worried about going home to a person that you don't even like? You don't even love them anymore. Yeah, it's going to be hard on the kids. But you have to decipher for yourself. If you really don't like the person or love them anymore, you just simply can't be with them. The kids may not get over it, but they'll learn to deal with it. They'll learn to live with it. They're going to have to. There's no choice. And you just putting out farther is hurting yourself, the other person, and your children, if you have any. All it does is hurt. So the sooner you get it the better it is for everyone. May not seem that way, but it is. And yeah, you're gonna probably have to hire a mediator or lawyers or something, and it's gonna cost money. But what doesn't these days, Nothing's really free anymore. Unless you get little samples from like a little tea store, like I did. But, it's like nothing really is free. You pay to get married, you pay to get divorced. It's just a process. It's like, but money is the least of your worries. Yeah, everybody's like, ooh, money's everything these days. And it is, but it isn't at the same time. Your happiness inside yourself should be your number one priority. Not money, not everybody else, not the problems everybody has. You should worry about yourself. You're the number one issue in your life. If you can't worry about yourself, then you definitely can't worry about anybody else. You have to put you in number one. You have to be your number one priority. If you're not, it just won't work out. It will for a while. It might for a few years. But eventually you're going to break down and you're not going to be able to help others anymore. Take care of yourself first. You're number one. On your to-do list, make yourself happy should be on the very top. And big, boldly, italicized letters. It's not something you can compromise. You can't just keep putting it off and hope it goes away. So, there's going to be money, there's going to be problems, there's probably going to be arguments. But it will end. And you will feel a whole lot better than you did when you were married. Might be a while, might take a while. But if you truly were not happy, you will be happy once it is done and through with. So, you might find somebody else and you might not. That's up to you and your heart. Think logically of what your situation is. Go into reality. Stop living the big fantasy that most people live, especially teenagers. They're just like, ooh, yeah, this person's gonna get married, we're gonna live happy ever after in a castle, and blah, 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 and we're gonna make a whole bunch of money, and yeah, that might happen. But think about it in reality. Reality, it might happen. I'm not saying it's not gonna. But, think about your chances and the logic behind everything. Can you guys both, or even just one of you, legitly reach the goal that you're aiming for in your fantasy world? If you can, that's great. Go full speed. But if you can't, maybe you need to dim down and think about it for a while. And that might change your set of mind on who you're with. And it might hurt you guys, but you have to think about yourself and reality. It's gonna hit you. And if you don't solve it sooner than later, it's gonna hurt more than it could have. So, yeah, if you guys have any more questions, or even if you have advice, or any comments or whatever, just comment below and I'll answer any questions. You guys can write your own advice. Help others, It's like these videos are to give you advice. You don't have to follow it. You can suggest things. You can go against my logic. You can go against it. You can go against my opinions. You can agree with them. It's not going to hurt me either way. It's like you had to learn to take. You need to give and you need to get. So comment below your advice or anything. Questions, advice, whatever, So, if there's questions, I might answer them or somebody else might answer them. Other advice for others might listen to you. So, yeah. this was a kind of short briefing of relationship, but hey, I hope it helped you a little bit. So, see you next time on Advice from JJ, and we'll see what the next topic is. Okay, bye.